Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today we have Jem Hamilton, another chef, mutual of ours from Minnesota. The homie is great. He's my other brother, the other salty component to our duo. A very like-minded individual when it comes to culinary and just an overall sweet dude. Again, Jem Hamilton, Chef
Now
Salty.
tuned into
Salty
the
Chef.
greatest.
But hey, listen, before I keep talking your face off, Jem, if you could just, for the people that we know you, but for the people that don't, that are listening in or watching in, can you just give a 3-minute summary of your life, what led up to here, how you became a chef, in a short summary, 3 minutes?
By mistake.
Right.
So I was in the Marine Corps, and I've said this on my snap my TikToks. I was in the Marine Corps, and of course the Marine Corps dedicates a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
And my opinion of chefs was, I'll be honest, either they were the guys on TV or they were everybody working in like Applebee's and stuff. That was my idea of a chef. And so when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was like, I want to do something super easy. And I just saw this position at a fine dining restaurant in Minneapolis for a dishwasher. And I went, cool. Yeah. So I saw the dishwasher position and I was like, that's easy. A 9-to-5 job. I don't have to worry about any of it. But then like a prep cook called in. So they like taught me how to like mise en place and everything. And then a line cook called in and they had me do that. And then the chef was like, and they really thought that I could pick up on things really quickly and they liked it. So then the chef started to apprentice me. And then my life became 16-hour days, 6 days a week.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Facts. That's crazy. You know what? It's so, I want to hop right in because I feel like when I first started TikTok, Jem, I really loved your point of view as a chef, right? And I think that's what some people miss is like us chefs. And I'm not trying to say that we're better than anybody, please, for the love of God. So people like take things out of context. But I think us chefs really know other chefs and we all respect each other. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter what level you're at, right? Whether you're, if you're like a good example is like Casey and I are night and day. He's corporate restaurant America chef, and I am Michelin background, a luxury resort. But at the same time, I also respect KC as a chef. I remember, Jem, I don't know if you know how KC and I met. Basically, I had posted something, and just to give you a short story, he was like, "Hey, I think that looks dope, but it would look better on a colored plate." Right. And I was like, that's a great perspective. Yeah, I think you're right. And then boom, I hit that follow button and we became friends. But the thing is Casey and I don't see eye to eye on all topics, and it's fucking wonderful. But guess what? We're grown up enough where we can have a debated chef conversation about it, right? And we don't get all butthurt and freaking, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's
and I
the
think
only thing that kind of scares me sometimes is because when I say, hey, maybe do it this way, that's not me saying my way's better than yours. And some chefs get it, some chefs don't.
Yeah.
It's like, could you try it this way? And sometimes they go, yes. And sometimes they go, you know what? I still like my way better. And then it's like, cool, fine. You like your way better, but at least you tried. Because I feel like some of these quote unquote TikTok chefs, they have like food stylists and camera crews and everything's done for them. And it's just so cookie cutter for them.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny you say that, because Jem, I'm sure you can agree with this. Like, I feel like, and it's actually ridiculous. And I try to tell people, they validate your experience and your title with the amount of followers you have. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's awful.
And it's stupid.
Awful.
It's like, listen, I'll be honest, man. I am not. Like. The thing is, and I try to tell people, like, look at their credentials, my G. Like, don't just, whether they have 50 followers or 8,000 or 800,000, that does not correlate with their work experience. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
Yeah, and this newer generation, I gotta admit, man, I'm trying to keep up, man, but they are living digitally. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are fucking living. Excuse my language, but. But anyway, what I was getting back at was like, there is I try my best, but I see a lot of things on TikTok and IG and that are just, listen, let's be honest. It doesn't translate to the restaurant business, right? It doesn't translate to becoming a chef or becoming a better cook. But at the same time, I tread lightly because whoever is creating a house or whoever's creating a dish or whatever in their own house, I'm hands off. I'm like,
It's
I'm
their
not gonna-
house. Yeah, it's their house,
You
bro.
you can do whatever you want in your own house. Now, here's the thing. This is where I draw the line. Let's say I am a big time creator and I'm taking a whole salmon and I am filleting this whole salmon, but I'm absolutely butchering it, right? Like I am just like, literally I'm filleting it with the butter. I'm doing everything you can possibly do wrong. But I am saying as a creator, this is how you fillet salmon. This is how you cut portions of salmon. Like that's where I draw the line and I say, listen, somebody's going to get fired because of you, because you are influencing them. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I draw the line. But for the most part, I feel like a lot of these chef TikTokers that are, they're like, it's cool. If you want to share your own spin on a recipe, it's totally fine. But when you get down to techniques and figuring out, like when you're teaching other people, like I'll be honest and I'm going to call him out, the problem solve guy, dog, his page needs to be shut down, dude. He should not be able to cook, bro.
I'm not even familiar with him.
Oh my God.
It's the he's like the
Pull it up.
the
Pull it up, my G.
tasty oh yeah.
Pull
As
up-
I'm fucking
pull up-
doing it. Hold on.
Okay. Okay, Jem, we're gonna
I
watch
got
this
it.
video and the potato video, the potato salted video. Okay.
Okay.
And you know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna duet it because,
Took you long enough. You didn't
Yeah.
even do it yet. Hold on.
and it's funny because he just posted another video. He just posted another video of like using Windex on your car windshield wipers. And I know I'm a chef, and I know this is a big no. Like I know you're not supposed to use Windex on your windshield wipers, like to wipe them off, because of the ammonia.
All right.
But
Yeah.
okay, here we go, Jem. Listen real quick. Listen.
So Jem, I know you know the right answer. We all know the right answer, but just take a look at his page and just what he does, and it'll tell you why we kind of don't like it.
Oh, the potato hack? Oh my God, no.
Have you seen this? You know what I'm
Have you
talking
seen
about
it?
then.
Everyone does this hack, and it doesn't work.
Okay.
Potatoes
No, it's-
by osmosis will not remove sodium. That doesn't work like that.
Listen, you know what? All right, for our viewers and our listeners, listen. What this is a guy who's in his kitchen and he says, "Oh, your food too salty? Okay, great. Here, take a whole potato and put it inside." So here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. As a chef, I will crush your soul if you do that in a restaurant. And here's the thing. It's not your fault. This is not correct. I don't recommend doing this. Now, I will say, I totally understand what he's doing, right? This is his channel, problem solved, and he's trying to give you a cooking hack, but this is not a cooking hack. This is actually wrong. So the fact that he's teaching this is ridiculous. And the thing is there's two things wrong with this. One, that potato is whole. The soup is already cooked. If you put that potato in there 45 minutes later or 15, 20 minutes later when he said, everything's going to be mush. That's the bottom line. Everything is mush. The potato was still raw when he pulled it out. No bueno. Second of all, there is only two ways to really fix this. One of them, what my recommendation is, start the fuck over. Okay, use this as an example. Okay, use this as a lesson and prep out the mise en place again and make it. And listen, you can always add, you cannot take out. Okay, now if you need to fix this, if you're at your house and you need to fix this for you and your family and you don't want to waste the food, then what I recommend is make another half batch with no salt and then you can add it back. But I don't recommend doing that because the thing is, if you're in a restaurant, your guest deserves better than that. But if you're at your house, I totally get it. And if you oversalted, then listen, I've done it before where I've oversalted marinara. Like I actually went to go pour the salt in, and the top fell off. And basically, what you can do is you can make another half batch and with no salt, and you can add it to try to dilute a little bit, or you can add more stock. But don't teach this. I don't recommend this at all. Like this is my worst nightmare as a chef. If a young cook comes into my kitchen and says, "Hey, I learned this on TikTok," and does that, you're gonna get fired. So that is the problem that I have, Jem, is when some people and listen, I get it. If your grandmammy taught you that, I totally get it, man. But like, the reason why I make specific points is because I was that young cook that learned a whole bunch of bad techniques. So just to give you a little background, I worked at a diner from age 14 to 16, right? Learning short order cooking and how to be a hack, right? I had to relearn how to be a chef, and it made it detrimental for me, and it really affected me as a young man because I learned, because I went from working in a diner, a shitty ass restaurant, which it wasn't, I just wanted to cook, to then Macaroni Grill, where I learned how to be even a worse short order cook. and listen, I learned how to cook fast and efficient, but I wasn't learning how to be a chef. And then finally, when I got to Ray and Willie Blum at Sanibel Steakhouse, I'll never forget it. They both graduated CIA. They both were highly trained chefs. And guess what? They taught me the basics of cooking, and they made me relearn everything. I'm forever grateful. But guess what? When they would laugh, like, "Oh my God, hey, go show Willie," because they were like, "Hey, go show Willie what you just showed me," and it was like how to clean something or how to like do something. He's like, Go show them what you learned at Macaroni Grill. Go show them. Go show them. And like they would kind of mock me.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Attitude anymore. That's a toxic attitude nowadays, actually.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. I remember telling the chef, I said, "Chef, listen, I'm sorry, I don't know. Can you just explain it to me?" And he did. He's like, "Okay." He's like, "But I'm telling you right now, you need to work at higher level places for the rest of your career. Do not work like, because I'll tell you one move that I used to do that I thought was genius, that I realized was a hack. So we used to have chicken wings at the diner. And in order to be really fast, they were pre-portioned in plastic bags. Okay, Jem? And basically what I saw the cook do was he would take the whole plastic bag and dip the whole thing in the fryer, and then it would melt the plastic, and then the wings would fall out right into the fryer.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes. Instead of opening the bag or leaving the bag, fucking leave the bag untied. You know what I'm saying? He would just dip the whole bag in the fryer and then melt it, and then the wings would fall out, right? And then he would throw the bag on the floor, not even in the trash can.
I love eating my wings with some PVC.
Bro, and here's the thing: as a 15-year-old cook, I just did monkey see, monkey do. Dog, when I tell you I did that shit at the steakhouse I worked at, and the chef lost his mind on me. Lost his mind. Literally lost his freaking mind. He's like, "Who wants to eat?"
You and I over TikTok lives have had this exact conversation.
Yeah, and he's like, you just put plastic in the fryer. And I was like, what do you mean, chef? This is how you do it. It's fast. He's like, "You just put plastic in the fryer." And then he made me clean the fryer in the middle of service. And I never made that mistake again. He's like, "Why would you do that?" He's like, "Now it's gonna burn in the bottom." He's like, and then I told him, I was like, "You know what? I was like, Chef, I'm sorry. This is what I was taught." And he's like, "Don't ever fucking do that again." He's like, "I can't believe you did that." He's like, "I just can't believe somebody would do that." And I'm like, and then it's funny because years later as a chef, that's why when I see something wrong, I call it out and I say, "Hey, listen, this is no disrespect, but this is the correct way to do it," because I was that young cook. And selfishly, I want to be the chef that says, "Hey, no, this is how you do it. You can do whatever you want, but this is the correct way to do it." Now, I know some people take offense to that. Here's a good example. I posted a video on, there was a kid at Chipotle he has a Chipotle channel, and he was cutting onions with his hand like this. Like his hand was just like this. He was, slanted. I'm like, he's going to cut himself because I've seen it before. Obviously, we've all seen it before. There's a right and a wrong way to do things. Now, there's tons of way to cut things, but I stitched this video and I say, "Hey, listen, it's not your fault. You weren't trained correctly." And clearly, he was not trained correctly. And that's the problem with these restaurants. They don't take the time to train their employees with a knife. Instead, they give them a cut glove and say, "Hey, here you go," right? And so I said, "Hey, listen, this is not your fault," and then blah, blah, blah. And I just go into giving him a proper demo. And even though he might not need that at Chipotle, some other cook is going to see that. And hopefully I can change that one perspective,
It's like my latest drama, apparently, the aioli. All I was saying was mixing garlic and mayo does not make a traditional aioli. And then you get a lot of people sitting here going, "Well, obviously they said it's a hack and you don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, what?
One guy who just
what, Jen?
said Webster says aioli is mayo and garlic, and I'm like, yeah, you took one little snippet for confirmation bias.
Yeah, you know what, Jem? That's a great point, and I'll be honest, that's a battle that I don't want to fight. Right, like that as a chef, I totally get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. No. I totally get it. Listen, I was told the same thing. Listen, I worked for a French chef, Eric Klein. I love you, man. He's from Alsace, and he's like, "This is not an aioli," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like, okay. And then anyway, he goes in to show me how to make an aioli, how to make a roux, and a whole bunch of shit, right? And it's funny because I'm with you, Jem, and I understand where you're coming from, but it's like you as a chef need to make the decision. Okay, do I want to fight with the internet today? And I tell Casey the same thing. Casey, listen,
Yes.
ain't nobody as petty as Casey.
Yes.
He puts the P in
Yes.
petty. He will go.
Yeah, we all know about burnt
Want to
garlic.
fight with
Bro,
everybody.
But yo, Casey will go to the deep depths of pettiness, and I think it's hilarious. But you are 100% correct. I know exactly what you're saying. But the thing is that Americans are a little bit different, man. Like, and you're totally right. Like, even when I was creating menus and stuff, like I would be hesitant to put aioli on there if it was
Aioli, yeah, because it's not
Well,
really.
It gets so bad because here in the Midwest, a standing rib rack is just automatically called a prime rib, and that just, I'll be honest,
Really?
that pisses me off when I see that, because I'm like, you have like choice or reserve.
Yeah.
That's not prime grade.
Yeah.
Just what's wrong with just saying a standing rib roast?
Well,
I
Yeah,
eat
yeah.
that still.
you know that. Hey, that you're 100% right, man. Hey, you're not lying, but like.
I did not know they called that prime.
What
over
I
there.
urge is, well, you can do whatever you want, but like the thing is you can't let that negative energy on TikTok, because they don't know. They just don't know. And guess what?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody going to convince them that mayo is not an aioli, man. I'm sorry, but it's just, I know exactly what you're saying. And trust me.
I know a lot of them
I've-
said that even
I've-
straight out.
dude.
They were like, you can educate me, but I'm still gonna call mayo and garlic aioli.
Yeah, and it's funny because I had the same problem at when with putting this on the menu, and the servers explaining to the guest what aioli is, and they're gonna say mayo based. And listen, I understand what you're saying, man, but it's like, okay, do I want to fight this one? Like, do I want to fight with the whole people that, like I try to
That comes
what I
into the
do- what I-
restaurant.
And it's funny because now I compartmentalize what kind of content I'm going to create, and like I will fight for a little bit, but like usually my golden rule is, it's so funny because I had a video get taken down the other day, man. I posted on Instagram, and it was me duetting. I was stitching myself, and here's the thing: I was showing the perfect scrambled eggs, right?
Yes,
All right, let's
which
be
is
honest.
amazing, as you
Hey,
should.
Hey,
Always
listen.
double boiler. My opinion.
Listen, bro, if you look at those comments, it is absurd. And it's funny.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's just like, listen. But I clarified. I went back and I was like, listen, I should have specified soft scrambled. But here's the thing. If my 5-year-old kid asks for scrambled eggs, I'm not going to
It's
give
gonna
him
be
this-
scrambled.
I'm not going to give him the same eggs that I would get. Like if Casey asked me to make, hey, yo, chef, make me perfect scrambled eggs. That's what I'm going to give him. If my 5-year-old kid said, Daddy, can I have scrambled eggs today? I'm going to give him hard scramble, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's no
McDonald's
question.
stuff.
No question. If
It
I'm in a
has to be
restaurant,
cooked all the way too.
if I'm in a restaurant and I'm a chef and somebody says, hey, I want scrambled eggs, no, I'm not making them the fucking double boiler shit, right? No, but what if they say, hey, I want the perfect soft scrambled eggs? I'm going to give them the Wolfgang Puck eggs.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I got it.
Go ahead, Casey. We know you
Hold
watching
on.
porno in the background. It's all good. Stop playing, bro. It's
Hold on.
good.
I just want to play Jem's video too
Yeah, go
quickly.
ahead.
Now, as we all know, aioli is not mayo based, right? But like Jem, I'm gonna fight this with you. I'm gonna fight this with you. I'll be the petty person. I'm gonna do it. I want to say today, but a little later. But anyway, so really quick, for all intents and purposes, I don't think we've said it yet. But Jem is a food scientist, by the way. For everybody aware, he's also a chef. So like the dude is knowledge. So like whenever I have an inquiry, usually I message Jem right off the bat, and then I message Brandon. So if I can be petty on this, but he doesn't reply, but I will do it anyway. But here we go, real quick. This is the Kroger hack. Is this from the Kroger video? At Kroger, is that what you were doing?
I think they had some other TikToker sponsor it. They sponsored some other TikToker.
And you could also
let's watch
argue
it
that
real fast.
aioli is spelled wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like it needs the two things. What the two
It's
things?
the
on
other
top?
way, yeah,
You know what I'm
The
talking about?
umlauts.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay, Jem, your
Bullshit. Right
delivery on that, bro. You got listen when you're
a little harsh.
Look,
Little
hey,
harsh.
just a little note to self. When like I hate to say this, but for the internet world, you have to like start with a positive and then end with a negative. You know what I'm saying? Just remember that. It's just like when you're addressing,
All right.
when you're, listen, it's so funny. I'm going to tell you just like I told, let me give you a 30-second story time and you'll be able to put things in perspective. So when I was working at a said restaurant, and my sous chef was a go-getter, right? He Michelin background. He did not give a fuck who you are. He is coming for you. If you're not set up, if you know, and here's the thing. I am different, right? Once I had children, I became a different leader. And the thing is there was this girl who was a bomb cook. She was only 19 years old, but she smoked most of my male cooks, right? The thing is she was on her period one week and she was sad. She was just she was on her cycle. You know what I'm saying? And she was having a rough day, rough service. And he came after her so hard, right? Like, and she got teared up and started, it's like, God damn it. Like, you know, why are you being such a dick? And then I remember telling him, I'm like, hey, we'll just call him Ken, right? I was like, Ken, be careful with how you address, you know, what should her name be? Let's say Kelly. I said, Ken, be careful how you address Kelly. And he's like, no, but she's not set up. I'm like, I know, but listen, you have to be a little bit more gentle, right? She's a 19-year-old girl. Like, don't treat her like you're talking to me or you're talking to another sous chef. And then he, like, later on that day after they went through a rough service where she was, you know, literally pushing the buttons, you know what I'm saying? You know how when a chef's being a dick to you, you know, sometimes you can be just a little bit slower. You know, and I told him, I was like, listen, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar. But I'm like, you're going to sleep in this bed. And but anyway, what I'm trying to relate to is you have to treat the internet, and not to racially profile here or be like, you know, girl versus boy, but you have to treat the internet that way. Right. And so basically, I always start with the positive and with the negative, because you still want to get your point across, but there's a delivery aspect of it. So like, with that first sentence, delivery, totally get it. But at the same time, that's what people hold on to. They don't care about the rest of the video. They listen to the first 3 seconds and that was it. That's it for them. You know what I'm saying? They're not listening to the rest. They're listening to the keyboard warriors.
I mean, I liked it. I was all for it. Just saying.
And so it's funny.
It's just aioli has always been like the one hill I'm willing to die on.
Yeah. I totally get it, man.
And I get everyone's like, yeah, but there's provincial aioli. And I'm like, yeah, but you're sitting here trying to prove that all aioli has egg in it off of provincial aioli, when you're also forgetting that provincial aioli also has like potatoes and a ton of other crap in it.
Yeah. But, you know, you also have to remember that not everybody, like on the internet, it's crazy because people like drama. They love to antagonize and they love to freaking attach by the hip. They love to corner people. And sometimes, and like, for me, I don't give it the time and day anymore, even though I should. I could like definitely build some clout, but what I try to do is just pinpoint the people that actually, make sense in their claim, or that actually can back it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you ain't got no profile picture and no comments and no nothing, like, dude, I'm not going to waste my time. You're a troll to me. Like, you're a bot. Like, that's you fall in that category. Like, I'm sorry, but and I know some kids don't have TikTok profiles just because they don't want to get bullied, and I totally get it. But I try to urge everybody. I'm like, listen, if they don't have profile picture, if they don't have videos, if they don't have any content, then you tread lightly. Don't even waste your time. I don't even waste 1 second. Like, I can't, dude. If I post a video and like within the first 24 hours, I'm replying to comments, but there's no way. I mean, dude, look at my scrambled egg video comment section. It is absurd. It is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I'm talking like,
I didn't even check it. I know I saw the video, but I didn't even check it.
Pull it up.
Give me a sec.
Let's see how many.
The first one, not the second one, right?
No, the first one. And then
Okay,
let's look at let's read some of the comments. It's really funny, actually.
Crazy.
But I don't get offended. Okay, here we go. It's so funny. Can you push pause for 1 second? Push pause. Look at Joe. Look at Joe Sasto, Chef Joe Sasto, man, coming to my defense. But it's funny because
he's fucking. That's what's up, bro.
So I know, but you know what? It's like, listen, and I try to tell him. I told him this in the IG DMs. I'm like, listen, TikTok is just, it's young kids. They don't fucking know, and it's okay. And it's like people, they just don't have the recollection of, they don't really understand the technique behind it.
This is my favorite. Here's the thing: salmonella.
650 comments. It's like I can't respond to every single one, but I pick a few that I want to reply to. But it's funny because if you could just scroll right to show the finished product.
I'm too country for this.
Yeah, exactly. But it's
Can we talk about the fact that so I've been seeing in the comments, You know, like Gordon said we shouldn't do this. Gordon Ramsay said we shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
But you got Wolfgang Puck, the OG of the culinary world, saying
this is
that
what he
looks
does.
amazing.
So listen.
This is mine, by the way.
Oh, did he? Where did he say it? Oh, Wolfgang Puck
Right there,
looks great.
under Casey's, looks great.
Looks great.
Yeah. That was probably him too. So basically, just so everybody knows, listen, Wolfgang does not do his own TikTok. Okay, I'm sorry to burst the bubble.
Don't bust the
doesn't.
bubble, Brandon. He commented on you.
The day he followed me, I gave him not to brag, but I have Wolfgang's cell phone number, and It's funny because I DM'd him and I said, hey, who is this managing his account? And it's like a girl in her mid-20s, right? She manages social media. But I was talking to her, and it's funny because I should pin that comment. But here's the thing: that video originated. The video originated to basically when white truffles were in season. Wolfgang Puck. So I worked at Hotel Bel Air. Wolfgang Puck lives in Bel Air, California, and he came in. He was with us in accounting. He was having a meeting. I was like, chef. I was like, yo, white truffles are here. They're amazing, so aromatic. I was like, did you want me to make you something? He's like, I want breakfast. I want scrambled eggs. Well, guess what? Somebody told me a long time ago that Wolfgang Puck likes soft scrambled, but he's like, this is the best way to cook them. And I'm like, okay. And I did. And then basically, so think of these eggs. Now, listen, do you need the ring mold? No, it's just a different level of, you know what I'm saying, of presentation.
Extra.
Now listen, I can take a spoon and just spoon them onto a plate or into a bowl, and that would be great. But the thing is that perfect scrambled, you're looking at 140 degrees, and you're looking at them just like a risotto. When a risotto is perfect, it stands up for 3 seconds, and then it shrinks down a little bit. We lost him. We lost him.
That's okay.
Jem, come back,
I think
Jem.
he'll be back.
It's okay. We'll keep it rolling. But what I'm saying is I think what's really important to note is that with Wolfgang Puck, when I made those scrambled eggs for him and I shaved the truffle table side, he was like, this is perfect. He's like, oh, you can tell a real chef knows how to make scrambled eggs when they make scrambled eggs like this. And I'm like, yes, thank you, chef.
Can we talk about truffle for just 1 second, though?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Covering. So Brandon, when you do things with truffle, do you do 2 or 3 shavings, or do you just cover that motherfucker?
Well, it depends on what it is. It really does. And honestly, I gotta admit, I'm gonna just come out and say it right now. If you are out there, do not get summer truffles or burgundy truffles. They're trash.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Burgundy and summer truffles are trash. You need French black winter, Australian black winter, or white truffles. Don't waste your time with anything else. I know they're cheaper.
Always
not
black
worth it.
winter.
But it depends on what it is. So here's a good example, Jem, and I try to tell people, if it's eggs, depending on what it is, it really depends, but I try to think of it as a mushroom. So if I'm adding, now, I'm not going to lie, at Hotel Bel Air, I remember shaving truffles into somebody's mouth before. It was ridiculous.
Oof.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I mean,
Fact.
it's luxury, though, right? That's what you're trying to embody in that set.
And I'm hoping that video never surfaces, man. I was so uncomfortable.
Yo, somebody link it to us right now on a comment.
It was
Holy
white
shit.
truffle. Listen, it was very difficult because they ordered 7 truffles. So I went outside to shave table side. She's like, can you shave them in my mouth? And I'm like, damn. But
Wait, they ordered 7?
But you know what? I'm down. Anything for the guests, right? Dude, I swear to God. And her friend, camera, and I'm like this. Like,
oh,
straight,
shit.
Like, into it. Yeah, it's funny. I hope that video never surfaces, but it's fine.
Yes, no, it will surface now that you put it
really
out
depends. It really depends, Jem. It depends on the portion of what it is. It depends on, if it's just one egg, then yeah, I'm going to put a few slices. If it's like a truffle risotto for a 4 top, then I'm going to shave pretty aggressively. But I think the most important thing. Oh, go ahead.
So here's, you kind of just said my opinion on truffle. You just said 1 egg, and then you said a truffle risotto. So if I see on the menu truffle risotto, then yes, I want that truffle up front. But on TikTok, like Wagyu got overdone, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Truffle gets overdone. And when every video you see on truffle, like anything that features truffles, they are covering that thing in truffle to the point where they're like, I'm just imagining if I ate this, all I would taste is a truffle.
Yeah,
and
it's
if
truffle,
you're not telling me that it's like a steak with truffle, then I want to taste the steak, not the truffle.
Yeah, I strongly urge. So for anybody out there, the thing is if truffle is the spotlight, then you don't want to put it with. I really, if you're a chef, please put it with simple starches. Think simple starches, like when people shave truffles on a hearty steak, like a ribeye that's been charred, like that's been charred, has grill marks and has been charred and has a demi-glace sauce. I think it's stupid, right? And same thing with like I will play devil's advocate, Perrigo sauce, like. Dude, I remember making this sauce with like $600 of truffle, man, and it was so fucking stupid, bro, stupid. And I'm like, chef, why are we making this? Like, this, it just seems like it's ego driven, right? Like, and but anyway, I digress. I think truffles should be, in my opinion, whatever you're serving it with, keep it simple. Pizza, pasta, like a white pizza, pasta, rice, potatoes. I'm not a big fan of truffle fries, but I know people love them. But I would switch to a microplane for truffle fries. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is like it's so subjective. But in all honesty, when you have a really good truffle, especially French black winter or white truffle, you really want to taste the truffle, but you don't want to have a dish that's like tomato based or that's spicy or that like you know what I'm saying? Like that actually. Where like where the flavors of the dish are going to overpower the truffle. Truffle is so delicate and honestly I gotta admit, man, like you have to go to a really high-end restaurant to try to taste truffles, right? You can't go to like some bar and grill that just has truffle oil all over everything. And that's another thing. I hate truffle oil, man. I think truffle oil is just fucking gross, man. I literally had somebody send me a sample of their
truffle oil.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, man.
Oh, fuck out of here. Huh?
I hate truffle oil. I mean, listen, I totally get it. People love it, but it does a disjustice to what real truffles taste like because then people taste truffle and they're like, oh my God, this has no flavor. And I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, and truffle oil, single truffle oil you see, it's not fresh. It's all been sitting on a shelf for months.
Yeah. And also, I will argue that truffle does not taste good raw. Okay, so truffle, you want it to be, whatever you put it on, you want it to be slightly warmed, and you want the truffle to be slightly warmed through, right? So, especially like in a moist environment, right? So, like if you are going to shave truffles on a pizza, you're not going to put it directly on the crust. It's not going to get the moisture it needs to kind of, I'll say, hydrate, right? So, like that's why I like to shave it over the scrambled eggs or the risotto or a pasta, and then let it melt slightly, so that way the true aromatics come out. I think that's really important. And I didn't really know that until I worked with at Cafe Balud, Daniel Balud's restaurant, and it changed my perception on truffles. So we would people would taste. You can taste it raw, like not. It's aromatic, but it's not like you could smell it, but you can't taste it. But once you warm it up slightly, ooh, beautiful. It's amazing.
What else we got,
Casey?
Hold on. I'm pulling up videos as we're talking about. I just want to talk about this real quick. I know off topic. Now, first of all, truffles, I hate it. My chef knows it. I tell him all the time, like, do we really need to use this? But he likes it. It is what it is. Okay, this is the other battle that you have to realize when you're not the chef and when you're not the owner. When I said chef, like the actual person that's leading the charge, because I'm second in command. But like, if he says he wants this, or if they say they want this, they want it. You know. There should be no ego there. I'm there to run the business as efficiently as I can because that's what I got hired for. But anyway, real quick, Brandon, can we just play this real quick?
Ooh, yes.
Can we just play this real quick?
I need it.
Did you use a Dufour for that one? The pastry?
No. What are you talking about? I made it, bro. I made the pastry. Punk ass bitch. No, that was my rough puff. I just didn't add it.
So that was your rough puff. Okay.
So in all honesty, I'll be honest, this is a full 60-second video, but what I've been doing lately is I've been taking my analytics very seriously. And so for the last, for the month of January, I've realized that people are only watching 30 seconds. So unless it's a controversial video, you want to be in that 30 to 45 second range. And so that's why I trimmed most of that part out. But I should post the whole video because a lot of people. So basically what happens is I'll post it. And then if a lot of people ask me, I will create a recipe PDF. But I only do it if I get enough requests.
Got it.
Some people just want to watch.
My bad.
Yeah, some people will never actually make that. But I did that on
TikTok
Live.
Food porn.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't waste my time. So if they want the recipe, great. I'll take the time to make the PDF and make it a downloadable thing. But I'm really trying to get into the NFT space where I can make an NFT in a recipe. You know what I'm saying? And have it be like, if you have a certain, I don't know if you're familiar with NFTs, Jem, but like it's non-fungible tokens, and it's kind of like this new thing, like, with the crypto space. Anyway, what I was saying is I think what would be really cool is if like there was like a chef authorized brand and you purchase these tokens to be able to get the recipes, and in turn you get perks later down the road, right? Like directly. I know it sounds crazy, but it's really interesting.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll cut this out. That way people don't know what exactly you're gonna.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna do it because somebody might take that. Somebody might take that
man.
idea.
It's okay. Listen, I dude.
No, it's not okay. Then we're gonna cry later. Be like, I just fucking said that on a podcast. Somebody fucking took it with even more money, et cetera, et cetera. Fuck that shit.
Dude, you see how you see how the natural sunlight's coming in now?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Dude,
Plus the red looks nice.
Yeah.
Jem switched to his camera. That's why he's like more fidelity right now. I see you, Jem. Don't fuck around, bro. I don't fuck around.
My Lumix died on me. I thought since I had it plugged into the camera, it would be charging at the same time. Apparently not.
That's all good.
Hey, Brandon, I just want to show you my scrambled eggs real quick. So if you don't mind, huh?
Okay.
2 seconds. So I know you have a whole scrambled egg, but mine, I should have tagged you first in it, or I should have duetted your video, right? Okay. Because I mean, if I crack the egg, it's a waste for me. That's my scrambled eggs right there.
Oh. That's not even scrambled. Not even like scrambled.
You could at least mixed it, bro. Like at least like broke the yolk.
It's fine. Just buy this.
Dude, it's fine. It's fine. You should have swished it in your mouth like mouthwash.
Like this. Oh my god! Yeah. Next time, okay.
Next time, swish it in your mouth. Swish the egg in your mouth like mouthwash, and then spit it back in the cup and then drink it again.
And so let's check it out. So these eggs came from Pennsylvania. Yo, I'm telling you, they're so fucking good. Like it tastes sweet, and I'm like, yo, can we keep getting these? It's only in I think the farmer said maybe like a few more months, and that's it. And then they stopped selling that version. I think it's like a different hen or some shit. But I'm just like, yo, these are so fucking good. That's why I did that. Otherwise, if it's just regular eggs, fuck that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So look, let's get into so Jem, where do you see your content going in the next like I would say 2 to 3 years? Are you planning on creating content, or do you just do it for fun right now?
I get aggravated real easy. So like when like that video blows up, then it gives me a false sense that people actually want to see this stuff. So then I create more I binge create, so to speak. Yeah. But then so like everything that I've created off of that gets like no hits.
Yeah.
So like I've tried to do them live before I get booted out for some reason.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, so like I'll be in uniform this Wednesday, and then I'm gonna make the aioli 3 ways. And but I'll be in uniform because I have this suspicion that I don't want to be in uniform at home, but at the school where I have to be in uniform, then I'll post that there. I guess it boils down to if somebody was willing to invest in me, then I would see creating content as a career choice, and then I would do it more heavy. But since I don't really get a lot of clout from it like you do, Brandon. Yeah. It's just a hobby.
Yeah. So, honestly, I've been creating content for a little over a year now, but hard in the paint, fucking hard. But what I'm saying is, in all honesty, if you think about how many videos I've posted on TikTok, I've only had a small handful of them go viral. But what's really important is to note that this is actually, I would argue that you could make more money creating content than you can being a chef.
Oh, yeah.
And listen, I hate to say it, man, but I'm just like laughing. I even had this conversation with Sonny, that dude can cook, where I remember working in restaurants for free, my G. And now I get paid a few grand to post a 30-second video. Like, what?
Well, see, and that's why I reached out to you. Like, who can help me with my plating? Because I can cook, but then plating
But that's okay. Listen,
I just
listen.
lacked, so that's
The TikTok comment chefs will tell you how to plate.
yeah.
So
The
hey, you
armchair
know what?
Gordon Ramsay's.
Yeah. Hey, look, we have to. But you know what, man? I take all comments. You just can't let them get to you because, honestly, you have to have zero emotion when you're responding to comments. But anyway, what I was going to ask was, how was your time at Ever? Are you finished there now, or what's the deal?
So I am done. I am done at Ever.
Okay.
And I guess I don't know. Like they sent me a bunch of stuff. They thanked me and everything. There were it didn't go like perfectly smooth,
Yeah.
but we found we found where I really shine.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
I love Justin.
Justin Silk, that's my homie.
I
We worked at
I absolutely I'd follow that man to hell.
Yeah, we worked
Honestly.
together at Linea. So we were side by side at Linea, straight up. Like we were like, I'm telling you, connected at the fucking hip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but my question is, okay, first of all, let's just give a little context. Curtis Duffy is one of my favorite chefs, and I would argue that he's one of the best chefs in the United States. Okay, he's held 3 Michelin stars at Grace, 2 Michelin stars at Avenues. He is one of the leading chefs, and he's probably the reason why I went to Alinea. He was the opening chef de cuisine for Alinea when it opened back in 2006, 2007. He's a gangster chef, right? But I got to be honest, he's kind of changed over the last, I would say 4 or 5 years. He's not the same person he used to be, like straight up. But anyway, I don't know if you guys ever seen his documentary, but it's awesome. You should check it out. How was it working in the restaurant? I know that it's 2 Michelin stars, but it will be 3, no problem.
They're expecting the inspectors to come like this month.
Yeah, I will. He's going to get that 3rd Michelin star easily. His cuisine is just crazy. But Justin's been with him for a long time, since Grace days.
Yeah.
So how was it going from let's say, I'm not going to say lower end food, but I'm going to say, how was it jumping to that Michelin level cuisine? Like
it was a struggle, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the stuff that I learned, and it's not that I learned incorrectly, but the stuff that I learned was like, no, we don't do that here. Like Justin said, everything we do has to be perfect under a microscope at 3 times the magnification.
Yep.
And it was just like, and then it was, of course, instead of just like ripping herbs off and then chopping them like you do in elevated dining and stuff, it was taking your little angled tweezers and plucking them one by one. And I'd have these line cooks just absolutely schooling me. Like, you got to go faster.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that, but I'm not a young guy.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys are in school still or just freshly out of school.
Yeah.
And 2, you're dealing with me having to untrain what I know for the last like 15, 16 years and trying to learn something like different.
Yeah.
So, I
Look,
mean, would I go back? I would, but
yeah.
I loved it, probably because the chefs, you know, when I made a mistake, wouldn't yell at me. They'd just be like Justin would be like, hey, this is how it is. Just do it this way. And I'd be like, yes, chef. And then I'd shift fire, move on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. I knew it was going to be a shock, like a literally like wake up session for you, Jem. I knew it because I too was in Justin's shoes, looking at people that were like, oh yeah, I want to work in a Michelin star restaurant. But let me tell you something, it is not fucking easy. No. And the thing is you start out on the bottom of somebody else's shoe. That's the bottom line. And listen, when I did my stage at Alinea, I thought I was a good cook. I thought I was disciplined. I came out of Cafe Bleu. I worked at Oriel. I was already a sous chef. And I stepped foot at 1723 Halstead in the back. And I was fucking blown away with how quiet it was in the kitchen. How much better these cooks were than me. They were the girl I staged with, she's like, today I'm making demi-glace and then we're going to make it again tomorrow. So I'm going to show you today, you make it tomorrow. And she's like, she's like, this is my time. This is my timeline. It takes me 15 minutes to cut the mirepoix, and then it takes 45 minutes to roast the bones. This is what we're going to do. And I'm like, there's no way she's going to fucking do it in that time. Dog, when I tell you, she cut this mirepoix like her life depended on it. I'm talking like boom, 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 boom. So organized, so fast, so diligent. And we're
so
talking
clean.
Yeah. And and that's why, that's why I try to say, like, if the organization is the key to success. I don't care what anybody says, man. It's like you realize you're like, okay, I actually suck. and well, first off, Jem, I'm kind of jealous because I told Justin multiple times, like, because he was still here in San Francisco, and he's like, I think I'm going to go back and work with Curtis on his new project. And I'm like, oh man, I'm so fucking jealous, dude. But I just don't think I have it in me to be somebody else's chef anymore. I'm tired of running restaurants for everybody else. And right now I'm creating my own legacy. But
I could be somebody else's sous chef. I could be somebody else's CDC. But I don't want to be a line cook anymore. And that's basically what I was there. And that combined with the fact that I was away from my family, which for a family guy is always hard.
Yep.
I just don't think I don't feel I gave Justin my who I actually am, and I feel really guilty about it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, but that's part of the process, man. Listen, Justin, for sure, I know Justin as a person. He's not going to have any hard feelings, and the thing is he knew that this was a risk. It wasn't like I was like, hey, Jem is a rock star. I'm like, hey, listen, do you have room? Like, do you have room to give this guy experience? Like, because I will tell you something, Jem. Like right now, we are kind of both in the same shoes. We both have children. We both have wives. And I'll tell you what, I put my kids first before anything. I fucking love my kids to death. My kids come before anything they need comes before me, ever, always.
Oh yeah.
And so same thing with my wife, right? That was different when I was 20 years old, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We put those kids in that restaurant. They don't have families. They don't have and they can put in all their effort, all their eggs in that one basket. Dog, when I tell you, when I stepped foot into Alinea, I was completely floored. Like, just, I'm sure you had the same feeling where like, fuck. And then when you see the plates, though, tell me, when you see service and you see the plates and you see the standard, it gives you a different perspective on the work that goes into Michelin restaurants.
Oh, I remember night one, Tuesday night, my very first night there. I've already gotten, well, I'll say yelled at, but they don't yell. They just say, hey, don't do that. Like Justin, like 3 times had to be like, lower your voice. And not even that I was like purposely shouting, just that I have a very booming voice.
Yeah.
And so like I got to the part where I was like whispering, and they're like, we're going to have you stand here and we're going to have you help plate this. I'm like, cool. Yeah. This is what I'm here for, plating. And then all of a sudden the first dish comes in, the second dish, third dish, and it white noise for me. Yeah. Like I'm just sitting here going, I'm supposed to do what? I'm supposed to set up what? What am I supposed to do? I'm having trouble tracking.
Yeah, man. And listen, I totally get it, man. And I've seen that face before, and I know. And then, unfortunately, what happens?
I've seen that face before.
Unfortunately, listen, Jem.
Been there, done that.
It's not personal, but I've seen that face before. And then, unfortunately, as a chef or a sous chef, and I'm sure that the problem is then you get categorized into the prep cook level, right? Which is not bad because
that's what happened.
Yeah, but that's okay. You can't expect to go into a 2 Michelin star restaurant, especially in this world, and be, plating right away. So the fact that you were even allowed on the line is a win because you have zero experience in the Michelin level. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's a good example. When I did the stage at L2O in Chicago, when Laurent Gras was there, thank the Lord I had Michelin experience because guess what? He looked at me and he said, hey, do you know how to work garde manger? And I said, yes, abso-fucking-lutely. And he's like, are you sure? Okay, I'm going to stick you with garde manger. One person called out. Can you do it? Listen, let me tell you something. The guy that I was with had just started, and he had zero confidence, and he had no plating skills whatsoever. And we were plating this dish. It was crab and avocado. It was super simple, man. Make sure there's no shells in the fucking crab, and then the avocado gets piped on each of these one little crackers, and it's in a circle on a plate. And thank the Lord, I worked in a 5-star, 5-diamond hotel where we had intricate plating like this, and also Café Bleu. Some of the tasting menu items were plated really intricately. And listen, the chef was like, hey, what the fuck is this? They're not even. like replate it. And so boom, he had to replate it. And I'm like, do you want me to help you? And he's like, no, I got this. I can't let you touch the plates. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine. Second plate comes back. Hey, what the fuck? What are you doing? Dude, the guy storms off the line because he was so fucking wrapped up in himself. I start plating the crab and avocado. I start plating it. And I'm like, honestly, this shit is really easy. One, he didn't know how to do a quenelle, which was a fucking loss for him because I did. And listen, I will argue it's because I was trained in pastry as well. So anyway, I'm plating up these crab avocados. And then I forgot what his name was. We'll say his name was Steve. The chef comes over. He's like, where's Steve? And I'm like, chef, he just stepped offline real quick, but I can plate it. I can do this. And he's like, okay. And he looks at it and he's looking at it. And I don't know if you know who, Matt, what's his name? I forgot his name, but he worked at Qua in San Francisco and he just did the big cooking competition. Matt something. Anyway, it's fine. So anyway, I'm plating up these crab dishes, right? And then I'm not stupid. I hear 2 more guests sit down. I start plating 2 more crab salads, right? Because I know that it's the first fucking course. Second course. And so anyway, I have 2 lined up, not garnished, but just lined up, molded and everything, no shells. And then he comes back after pouting. He's like, did you do these? Because what he thought was that, they need me more than I need them. And he just like walked off the line and wanted the chef to pay for it. And I'm like, bro, listen, it's fine. I can plate the salads, man. No worries. And then I was just being positive. But it's funny because in that moment, I remember saying like, he doesn't have the experience. He doesn't have the experience of dealing with that and dealing with multiple orders at once. And I'm like, dude. But anyway, I remember they offered me a job, but it was really stupid. It was like shift pay. So basically you're there for like 16, 18 hours a fucking day for like $100. $100. Nick, come on, bro. I'm like, no, we ain't doing a shift play. But I'll tell you what, Laurent Gras, champ. He's one of my favorite chefs in the world. Anyway, listen, I got a hard out in about 4 minutes, okay? Just so we know. But Jem, listen, I am so glad. Listen, when it comes down, I know that was a learning experience for you. And I know it's hard to take shit from a bunch of teenagers, but at the same time, that experience will stay with you forever. And I think that you are very lucky you were able to have that because not a lot of young culinarians or culinarians in general are able to get that in. You know what I'm saying? That foot in, because that's what it takes to get that foot into the fucking door.
Yeah.
Other than that, like it's up to you, right? Like, and listen, I'll be honest. Take that experience and now like shit, man. Because I'll tell you what, man, dude, the food that comes out of that fucking restaurant, fuck. You see that Instagram, dog?
Justin would make me a plate and it'd be like, eat it, and I'd just be like, yes, chef. Like I didn't even like go, I don't think I like this. Just be like, okay.
Yeah. And, that's okay, man. And, like, listen, I'll be honest. And this is what I try to tell people, young cooks nowadays. And I'm not comparing you to this, but I'm just saying, like, everybody's so scared to work in Michelin star restaurants. And I'm like, listen, what you guys don't understand is that in the Michelin restaurant, there is still every single type of cook and every single type of manager you can imagine. You have to have your grill cook, which is your ride or die guy that is just fucking, he'll go to the end of the earth for you. And then you also have your potato peelers, and you also have your prep cooks, and you also have your morning opening chef. You also have, you have different levels. But the thing is in all honesty, if you don't take the effort to try to get into the door, somebody will. And that's the bottom line. Somebody will. And Jem, you had the connection, man. I don't know who got you in there, but you got lucky, bro.
No, but also like small input, but like Jem, I think you started. If you would have started 20 years ago, like Brandon and I did, bro, you would have crushed it. Now I've only staged in a couple right in the city, or I should say 4 of them, couple of 2-star one. But the one that kicked my ass the most was masa when I tried to do sushi, and I still try to do, bro. When I tell you the way they cut fish is so fucking specific, and so to the ounce. I could not wrap my fucking head around it because I've never done it that way. So in the same token, like I was just like fish out of water. I'm just like, yes. How do you want this? I don't know how to do this. Can you show it to me? Blah blah blah. And I was already sous chef level too.
I think what helped me is I didn't say no to anything. You wanted something,
you just kept doing
yes. You want me to stay later? I said yes.
Yeah. The thing is yeah. And I'll tell you what, man. I swear to God, I want to, as soon as I can fly, like as soon as like the COVID thing calms down, I want to go stage there. I'm going to go work with Jay because
oh yeah, damn.
Just wait till after comes out.
Oh yeah. I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, but anyway, listen, I gotta roll, guys. It was so much fun, Casey. Let's wrap it up.
For everyone
great,
aware,
man. This was a good podcast, don't you think so?
I know,
I thought this was
dude.
fucking great.
Like I love it. I absolutely love it when we talk to other chefs because now we gain a third perspective besides Brandon and myself. But definitely make sure to check him out. Jem, I'll make sure all your links are down below so you can check him out. He is also my brother, just so you guys know. Other than that, tune in and we'll talk to you later.